Welcome to Friday. It's June 11th, 2021. Your Day Weather Podcast is being brought to you by Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. Make plans to come to Chugwater June 19th for the 35th annual Chugwater Chili Cook-Off. Enjoy live music, vendors, ranch rodeo, and of course, chili tasting. Kids are $15. Kids 12 or under are free. Get your tickets online at chugwaterchilicookOff.org or when you arrive. Well, more heat for the weekend, but also less severe weather. We don't have that risk of severe weather today, and it won't be as windy as yesterday. We'll take a look at the drought monitor, but it's going to be hot and dry for most of you through the weekend. However, there are some signs that maybe this hot dome of high pressure will weaken some late next week and the following week, and that will bring some relief from this hot June weather. But until then, we're going to continue to sizzle. Taking a look at the latest drought monitor, there's been a growth of drought conditions, more now into the Great Lakes and, of course, across the northern plains, parts of the northern Corn Belt. This area here has seen a bit of a deterioration in drought conditions, and going back to eastern Montana and northeastern areas of Wyoming as well. This little pocket of white here is where the thunderstorms and that early spring and late spring moisture was a lot more prominent, and conditions there continue to be better. But boy, I tell you, the rest of the West and the North continuing to see that drought pattern growing. This continues to be very much like what we had in 2011 and 2012, which was also the last time we had a really strong La Nina pattern developing in the region. Now, what we have going forward is here's today's upper level charts. We got high pressure over New Mexico, the jet stream riding up north with that big trough of low pressure along the U.S.-Canadian border and off the west coast of British Columbia. That's the system yesterday that causes severe weather in the northern plains, but it's moving up and into Canada and away from the region. So what will happen is the dome of high pressure really gains strength. And look at all the pink here. That is just a very, very strong dome of ridge of high pressure. So that's just going to continue to pump desert dryness, desert heat into the region. And through the weekend, this is through Sunday, the chances of rain are going to be along and east and north of that black line there. Very, very dry air continues to be in this area here. So you're going to have super low humidities, and you're just not going to have any rain-producing showers and thunderstorms. Closer to that northern boundary and out here where there's a bit more humidity, there is going to be some showers and thunderstorms this weekend, but most of you are going to be dry. But the Dakotas, Montana, maybe northern Wyoming, Yellowstone Park, and then down here in the Panhandles, nothing to get excited about, but that's where the chances of some showers and thunderstorms are going to be this weekend. As we take a look at next week, basically Monday through Wednesday of next week, we are going to be hot. This is a very strong dome of high pressure right over the Four Corners area, so you're just going to bake in underneath this big ridge of high pressure here. Got to remember, we're getting closest to the longest day of the year. You superimpose that on this high pressure ridge in the desert heat, and you've got some very hot June weather coming. However, once we get beyond this time frame, we'll start to see a bit of a cooling trend. I wanted to show you what the forecasted high temperatures are for next Wednesday underneath that strong high pressure ridge. So this is the pattern that we see for next Wednesday, and these are the high temperatures. Look at all the hundreds across parts of Wyoming, Colorado, parts of Nebraska, the Dakotas. Look at the temperatures down here in the deserts. You're getting into the Central Valley of California there. You're looking at 104, 105, 108, 110, 115 degrees. As you go into the panhandles of Texas, eastern New Mexico, you're going to sizzle. So, folks, this heat wave, this June heat wave, has got staying power all the way through the middle of next week. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of hope here in a second. These are the forecasted temperatures over the next 7 days relative to normal. So you can see that compared to averages, we are going to be a good 10, 15 degrees in some areas above average with temperatures right on through probably the next 5 or 6 days. However, as we get out to, this is Monday the 21st. Earlier in the week, we talked about after the June 20th time frame that maybe conditions were going to get a little bit better, not so hot, and maybe that's when a better chance of rain will come in. Well, we're seeing that. We're seeing some weakening. See the high pressure ridge here, not nearly as strong. And we have a little bit of a frontal system trying to come into the northern Rockies. So there are hints that late next week and next weekend and the following week maybe won't be as hot and maybe not as dry. And you can see that this is for next Friday, a week from today. It does show a cold front coming down along and east of the divide and cooling things off. It's a week away, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, but at least along and east of the divide, some relief from the heat could be on the way. Wanted to show you the 2-week forecast. It continues to show the beginnings of the monsoonal moisture trends becoming northward, getting more northward by the last days of June into early July. So we're going to put a happy face there and hope for the best that this moisture can come into the western slope and get those thunderstorms, rain-producing thunderstorms. Let's hope they're not the kind that are fire starters, but you've got to start somewhere. And it's going to be right at the end of the June and early July before those western areas can get back into some better chances of moisture. And look at along and east of the divide there, thunderstorm activity picks up as well. So this heat wave is going to continue, but we do see maybe some relief from it in about a week or so. Have yourself a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Day Weather YouTube channel. We'll see you on Monday. And don't forget to use Chug Water Don at checkout to get 20% off a Chug Water Chili.